There was more than basketball certainly on the minds of the Milwaukee Bucks, players and coaches and the organization as a whole after the Jacob Blake shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Blake, 29 years old, shot 7 times in the back by police officers in Kenosha. And so before the game even began, Mike Budenholzer addressed that, but the Bucks released a statement praying for the recovery of Jacob Blake. The last report I saw was that he was in stable condition in the hospital. Wow. Shot multiple times in the back by a police officer at point-blank range in Kenosha. Our hearts go out to his family and friends. We stand firmly against reoccurring issues of excessive use of force and immediate escalation when engaging the black community. Our organization will continue to stand for all black lives as we demand accountability and systemic change on behalf of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, Seville Smith, Ernest Lacy, Dontre Hamilton, Tony Robinson, Joel Acevedo, and countless other victims. We will work to enact policy change so these incidents no longer exist. And here's head coach Mike Budenholzer. Protests again in Kenosha tonight. Fires burning. Been looking at the coverage from Kenosha, and obviously the frustration and the anxiety you could feel from the Bucks and their personnel.
Yeah, I think we're all talking about excessive force, you know, with 7 shots in the back for anyone who's being arrested or shot or apprehended. That's what we're talking about. But I would almost disagree with George Hill on this matter. I'm glad he's there because I would have heard what LeBron said. I would have heard what CP3, Carmelo. But I probably wouldn't have got a chance to hear George Hill speak about it and how he felt. Because, you know, he is a good player in our league, but we have spokesmen that are designated, so to speak, that get the attention, have the millions and millions of followers. So to hear George Hill get an opportunity to talk about how he felt, that's what the bubble is also about as well. Guys who sometimes are sitting in the background. I just know, and I thank Charles for this in this respect. Before you got to this show, we were a good basketball show, and you made us a television show when you came in because we start talking about other matters. Because at times when I was in the locker room, I used to hear you talk when I was playing. I'm like, man, I got an opinion on that. But they would just come to me and go, 32 points, 15 rebounds, Akeem, you had 10 assists, what? And then they go. They don't. But with you in the locker room, that you had an opportunity, and you brought that here. And now I have that opportunity to do that. And I think that that's important, that George is in there and we hear from George Hill how he feels about it.
When I was going to go into television, my mentor, Dick Ebersol, who's the person who taught me to get into television, I was going to go to NBC. And I came and met with you guys. And I said, listen, I want to do TV, but I want to talk about basketball most of the time. But when social issues happen, I want to be able to speak my piece. And you guys says you can talk about anything you want. Okay, now thank you for that compliment. I feel, man, I want to thank everybody at TNT, going back to David Levy, Scooter and Craig.
Michael Jackson.
Our new boss, Jeff Zucker. Thank you for always giving us a platform to talk about stuff like this. I want to say this. I don't know exactly what happened in Wisconsin. You can go by the tape, and that's all you can go by. But there's got to be a way when you have 2 or 3 cops, an unarmed man should not get shot 7 times. And the thing that scares me the most about this whole scenario, it was either 2 or 3 kids in the car.
He has kids who were 3, 5, and 8. And
if one of those bullets ricochet, go through a body shot and kill one of those young kids, man, it would make our bad situation really, really bad. But I don't understand, if you got 3 cops, how it get to that point where you shoot a guy in the back 7 times. That just cannot happen.
You know, it's obvious that we need police reform, and LeBron made a good statement. November is coming up. It's always good to talk about these things, but now we need to get people in place that could change these laws and change these rules. New chiefs of police, new sheriffs, new ADs, new senators, because it's definitely getting out of hand.
Yeah. And it's heartbreaking. It's just, it's so difficult to watch, and it's so inconceivable to wake up in the morning and see that video and say, no. After what we've seen in recent months, this?
Yeah.
You just shake your head.